Alright, so I'm super stuffy today, but we're talking about a new Steven Universe review anyway. Today we're looking at another issue of the Steven Universe ongoing comic, which I think continues to be pretty good. Like, the art in this one still feels a little flat, just like it, not just in the last one, it has in a few of the past issues, but the characters are still shaped like the characters here. And man, this comic just has a really good voice, which I'll talk about in a minute. In this issue, after tasting a pumpkin donut created by Sadie and Lars, though he won't admit it, which is a cute little detail, and therefore discovering the wonder of pumpkin food, Steven learns that the mayor is putting on a cook-off in town to try to, again, entice more people to come to town during the off-season. It's mostly going to be the town's restaurants submitting harvest-themed dishes, but Steven can enter as well. So he goes to Lapis and Peridot because he knows they enjoy creating things and because, they have a farm. And after realizing that they can't make anything with Pumpkin, because of Pumpkin and the fact that she would be very angry if they did that, they decide to use some other harvest vegetables to create sort of a harvest vegetable soup, showing off some more creative uses for, well, specifically Lapis's powers in the process. We don't really get a great look at, but it sounds delicious. In fact, a lot of the food in this looked pretty interesting. In particular, the pizzas made a pumpkin harvest pizza, which I'm trying to decide how that would work. I'm thinking it's probably just... It's probably not like a pumpkin spice thing. It's probably savory. And it's probably just pumpkin and other harvest vegetables on like a veggie pizza, which sounds like it could be really interesting, right? But Lapis and Peridot at first don't really care about the competition until they realize that it is a competition, that there is going to be a prize of some kind. So they do participate. And the issue could have just been fluff. It could have been fluff like the issue where they were painting. But there's actually a little bit of mystery here because other people's dishes start being destroyed, but they're all pumpkin-themed dishes. And after a stakeout, they discover that it's actually Pumpkin ruining them because she's so mad that people are using pumpkins to cook. Despite the fact that there is a clear and obvious difference between her, a living pumpkin with some level of sentience, and a vegetable. Still, it was a pretty cute detail, and nobody's really mad at Steven for bringing Pumpkin to the event and her destroying the dishes when they find out that the prize is just a butt ton of cream corn and a first place ribbon, which Sadie wins for the pumpkin donuts and gives to Peridot when she sees how much it mattered to Peridot to win the ribbon. Like, it takes a little bit of prompting from Steven, but it's still a cute character moment and something I could totally buy Sadie doing. Because why would she care about a first place ribbon to something like this? And also, this is apparently the moment where she and Peridot meet for the first time, which is pretty cool to see. Again, the art in this isn't perfect. It's a little simple. And I know from some comments that some of you guys just don't really take to these comics for that reason. But I think it's fine. I think it's acceptable. And this comic does such a good job of capturing the voices of these characters. Like, Lapis and Peridot both feel very much like Lapis and Peridot here. Peridot in particular. She's her usual over-exuberant competitive self. Like I read the lines in this comic in her voice. It was that good. But more so than anything else, this comic has been pretty consistently good at capturing the voice of the show. Like Steven going to the Big Donut and the events of a Townie episode being instigated by stuff at or around the Big Donut is totally on point from the show. And then there's all these little details in here that didn't need to be here. The story would have still been good, harmless, warm, cozy fluff without them, and yet they're still here. Like that stuff with Lars at the beginning pretending like he doesn't like to bake, and a couple of the times that Pumpkin showed anger towards the cooking and stuff, the cooking related stuff. And Amethyst showing up at the cook-off and trying to eat all of the samples, and Peridot doing that one thing that she does. And then just Steven entirely. The way that he interacts with the world around him is so on point. This is a well-written story. Even if you don't entirely like the way it looks, this is a well-written story. And while it's not quite up there with some of the other issues of this comic that I feel like probably should have been in the show, it's still a really nice, fun outing. Like, this is another, like, it's not really a new location, but this is another event shown in these comics. I just want to go to it. That sounds like so much fun. Like, I'm a big fan of the autumn anyway, but like, this particular autumn event seemed like it would have been a lot of fun to attend. It makes me feel a longing for this place that doesn't exist in a way that the show kind of stopped doing after a while, because the plots and locations started to feel less wondrous and more mundane. The fact that this comic was able to capture that feeling again, I think, is the main reason why I feel that it captures the voice of the show so well. Like, I totally get if you don't like the art in this and that is a bridge that you cannot cross, but I really think it's worth giving these a try. Steven Universe ongoing. It's a really solid, fun series. As per usual, guys, what did you think of, I don't think I said it, this would be, I think, issue 11? Yeah, issue 11 of Steven Universe ongoing. What did you think of it if you have read it? Let's get a discussion going in the comments section down below. And while you're down there, you might as well like the video, share it with anyone else who think would enjoy my content, subscribe if you haven't. You can also check out links to my various social medias, as well as the many ways you can help out the channel. Those will be in the video description, but either way, this has been AJ22, and I will talk to you guys later.